Welcome to Bipolar Talks, where we mindfully explore the complex, challenging, and often misunderstood world of bipolar disorder. If you're here, you're likely looking for answers, clarity, or perhaps just a sense of connection, and we're honored to be part of your journey. Before we dive into today's episode, take a deep breath and remind yourself to listen mindfully. Whether you're managing bipolar disorder yourself, supporting someone who is, or simply curious, we're here to provide thoughtful, grounded insights. If you find this episode helpful, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Your engagement helps more people find resources that matter. Caffeine. It's one of the most widely consumed substances in the world. From that first cup of morning coffee to a midday energy drink, caffeine keeps us going, boosts our focus, and sometimes helps us power through those long days. But what about people living with bipolar disorder? Can caffeine affect their mood stability? And if so, how? In this episode, we're going deep into the science, the experiences, and the unanswered questions surrounding caffeine and bipolar disorder. Let's start by understanding what caffeine actually does in the brain. What is caffeine, really? Caffeine is a central nervous system stimulant. It works primarily by blocking adenosine, a neurotransmitter that promotes sleep and relaxation. When adenosine is blocked, your brain becomes more alert. Dopamine levels also rise, albeit mildly, creating that signature boost that so many coffee lovers crave. For most people, this results in increased wakefulness, improved concentration, and sometimes even elevated mood. But for those with bipolar disorder, where the brain's chemistry is already in a delicate balance, this interference may have more profound consequences. Caffeine and mood, the double-edged sword. Let's talk about mood. Caffeine can mimic the sensation of a mild high. You might feel energized, motivated, and upbeat. But here's the catch. Those effects can mirror symptoms of hypomania or mania, particularly in sensitive individuals. Research and anecdotal reports suggest that excessive caffeine consumption can increase anxiety and restlessness, disrupt sleep, which is already a trigger for mood episodes, worsen agitation or irritability, contribute to racing thoughts or impulsivity. For someone with bipolar disorder, these symptoms can push them closer to the edge of a manic episode or deepen existing instability. Have you ever noticed feeling extra jittery or overly enthusiastic after a few strong coffees? Imagine that amplified in someone with mood dysregulation. Sleep, the silent culprit. Sleep plays a central role in bipolar stability. Even a single night of poor sleep can trigger symptoms. Caffeine, especially when consumed in the afternoon or evening, can delay the onset of sleep or reduce the quality of deep sleep. For individuals with bipolar disorder, this sleep disruption can act as a trigger for mania or depression. In fact, some studies have found a direct link between caffeine-induced sleep loss and hypomanic episodes. So while a cup of coffee may seem harmless, its ripple effects on sleep might be far more dangerous than we think. Caffeine and medication interactions. Let's talk pharmacology for a moment. Many people with bipolar disorder take mood stabilizers, antipsychotics, or antidepressants. Caffeine can interfere with the metabolism of some of these medications. For instance, caffeine can speed up metabolism of certain drugs, reducing their effectiveness, interact with lithium, one of the most common mood stabilizers, by increasing lithium excretion, potentially leading to subtherapeutic levels, increase heart rate and blood pressure, which might worsen side effects of stimulants or certain antidepressants. Always consult your prescribing doctor or psychiatrist before mixing high levels of caffeine with your medication regimen. Caffeine and the manic spectrum. Let's imagine a real-life example. Alex, who lives with bipolar I, drinks 4 cups of coffee daily. First, it's fine. But over time, Alex begins to feel more wired in the mornings, then restless, and eventually starts staying up all night researching random topics. Racing thoughts kick in. Soon, Alex is spending recklessly and talking rapidly, convinced of a new business venture that must launch immediately. Is this a coincidence? Or did caffeine subtly amplify underlying hypomanic tendencies? While caffeine alone might not cause mania, it can act as a cofactor, an accelerant. especially when combined with stress, poor sleep, or inconsistent medication adherence. The role of individual sensitivity. Not everyone reacts to caffeine the same way. Some people with bipolar disorder can tolerate a morning cup of coffee without any issues. Others may find even a small amount of caffeine sends their mood into a tailspin. Genetic factors, current mood phase, sleep habits, medication, and overall lifestyle all contribute to individual sensitivity. The key takeaway: there's no one-size-fits-all rule. But if you notice a pattern of mood destabilization linked with caffeine, it might be time to experiment with reducing, or even eliminating, it from your routine. Energy drinks and hidden caffeine sources. It's not just coffee. Caffeine hides in many surprising places. Energy drinks, pre-workout supplements, soda, chocolate, certain teas, migraine medications like Excedrin. Energy drinks in particular are notorious for combining caffeine with sugar and other stimulants, creating a cocktail of potential chaos for someone with bipolar disorder. These products can cause sharp spikes in energy, followed by crashes. And those roller coasters don't mix well with the bipolar brain. What do the experts say? The official guidelines on caffeine and bipolar disorder are surprisingly vague. Most psychiatrists advise caution, especially for those who are in the early stages of treatment or have a history of manic episodes. Some studies support a link between high caffeine intake and manic symptoms, while others suggest moderate use is safe. The inconsistency lies in how differently people react. That said, many mental health professionals recommend limiting caffeine to the morning hours, tracking mood alongside caffeine intake, avoiding caffeine entirely during manic or mixed episodes, prioritizing sleep over stimulation, caffeine withdrawal and mood. There's another layer to this: withdrawal. Quitting caffeine can cause fatigue, headaches, irritability, and depressed mood, symptoms that can overlap with bipolar depression. This makes it tricky to distinguish whether someone is experiencing caffeine withdrawal or an actual mood episode. For this reason, if you decide to cut caffeine, do so gradually and with medical support. Journaling mood and energy levels can help differentiate between withdrawal and bipolar symptoms. Mindful caffeine use, a realistic approach. So what can you do if you love your coffee but also want to protect your mood stability? Here are some mindful strategies. 1. Track your intake. Use a mood journal or app to correlate caffeine with mood shifts. 2. Time it right. Stick to early morning caffeine only. 3. Hydrate. Caffeine is a diuretic, and dehydration can worsen fatigue and mood. 4. Opt for lower caffeine options. Green tea, decaf, or herbal teas may offer a gentler alternative. 5. Sleep first. Never sacrifice sleep for stimulation. Quality rest is non-negotiable for bipolar stability. Lived experiences. Voices from the community. Many individuals with bipolar disorder report feeling triggered by caffeine, even if they didn't recognize it at first. One person shared, "I didn't realize how much my daily coffee was affecting me until I stopped. My racing thoughts calmed down, I slept better, and my mood evened out. It was subtle, but powerful." Others say they're fine with a small morning cup, as long as they skip the afternoon latte. It comes back to self-awareness and mindful experimentation. Final thoughts. Is caffeine the enemy? Not necessarily. Caffeine isn't inherently bad, but it can be risky for those living with bipolar disorder. Like so many things in mental health, the answer is nuanced. It depends on your unique brain, your current treatment, and your overall self-care. The goal isn't fear, it's awareness. By mindfully evaluating how caffeine affects you, you can make empowered decisions about what belongs in your wellness routine. Caffeine is a stimulant that can mimic or worsen bipolar symptoms, especially mania. Sleep disruption from caffeine can be a hidden trigger for mood episodes. Caffeine may interact with psychiatric medications, including lithium. Individual sensitivity varies. Some tolerate caffeine, others do not. Mindful tracking, timing, and gradual adjustments can support stability. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the buzzy world of caffeine and bipolar disorder. If today's episode resonated with you or gave you something to think about, Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might benefit. Your voice matters, and your wellness matters more. This is Bipolar Talks, reminding you to take care of your mind, your rest, and your rhythm. Disclaimer: this YouTube video is for informational purposes only. It does not substitute for professional medical advice. Always consult a qualified expert or mental health professional for diagnosis, treatment, and personalized guidance.